Welcome to the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows 2020 Annual Awards Banquet. Featuring Major General Andra Berry, Board Vice President Julie Rowe, Youth of the Year Albie Lopez, Scholarship Committee Chair Vicky Luce, Youth of the Year Lindsay Vasquez, from the Hot August Nights Foundation Alan Tom, our very own Tatiana Anderson Hall, and our CEO Mike Worm.
Ready for this?
Oh man, I'm excited about this. And you're looking good.
Thanks.
But, hey, even though it's a virtual event, you gotta wear pants, Mike.
So welcome to our first annual virtual awards banquet and first ever television broadcast of this event. This is unprecedented. So coming to you from the William M. Pentington Youth and Teen Facility over right here at Foster Drive. And I know everybody's excited about being here tonight, right? You excited about being here? Tonight, presenting sponsor is Hot August Nights Foundation. They have been with us so long. Thank you, Hot August Nights, for what you do and what you have done over the years. They are just a pillar in our community. And our gold sponsor is American Wealth. And we want to thank them because without our sponsors, we could not do this great event. And we have an outstanding and uplifting show for you tonight. The events tonight are going to be like what you have never seen before. We are moving speeches like you haven't seen. They're going to touch your heart like you've never seen before. And we're going to talk today about our female and male Youth of the Year, which is always the highlight of what happens at this event. So we'll also be announcing the 2020 Distinguished Service Award winner. And we'll also give you the first look at the 2020 Annual Club video, which is just always touches our hearts, and it gives us a chance to really highlight the kids of them being in their true element. And we'll get a chance to treat you to a club member giving an outstanding performance. So a lot of work goes into this, and this is a chance to see our kids, and this is what it's all about, highlighting who they are and what they bring to the show tonight. So the theme of tonight's event is, you ready for this? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes to get it done, whatever it takes for us to get through this, whatever it takes to have a great event. And all that's been going on in the world today, whatever it takes. And that's why we're here tonight doing this virtual event. We encourage you to please visit bgctm.org, Boys and Girls Club of the Truckee Meadows.org, and make a contribution to give to keep our club going and to help them to continue to do whatever it takes to build great futures. And that's what happens here in our clubs. And so to start this off, I'd like to introduce you to the club's commanding, uplifting, fiery, bad, running the show, leader, the commanding chief, CEO, Mike Worm. Give him a hand.
Hi, like Andra said, I'm Mike Worm, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Boys and Girls Club, our mission is to enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. We serve nearly 15,000 youth and teens across northern Nevada, including Fernley, Ely, and Winnemucca. We currently have 31 clubhouses, school sites, and distance learning centers, and we provide free meals or snacks at all of them. The club never turns away any child due to an inability to pay. But it's not only a place for at-risk youth. We are a place for all kids, and we are proud to say that we are more than a typical summer or after-school program. We provide intentional and quality programming across 5 core areas: the arts, sports, fitness, and recreation, character and leadership, STEM and education, and healthy life skills. On any given day, a kid could be building a robot, painting a mural, practicing yoga, climbing a rock wall, or learning about volunteerism. Our teen program helps teens apply for scholarships, study for SATs, develop resumes, and teach financial literacy. The club staffs over 300 skilled, caring, and passionate individuals. We have an incredible 32-person board of directors dedicated to helping us obtain the resources needed to keep us thriving. We began this journey in 1976 with a single clubhouse on Terminal Way and have grown into one of Nevada's leading nonprofits with a $13 million annual budget. We've worked extremely hard to develop multiple revenue streams through sports leagues, facility rentals, program fees, special events, grants, sponsorships, and individual and corporate donors. But as you know, all of this was challenged this year due to the global pandemic. Our operating expenses rose significantly, and we are down over $1.5 million in lost programming fees, athletic registrations, event fundraisers, and facility rentals. But that hasn't stopped us. We've worked diligently this past 7 months to maximize our efforts to ensure we are using our limited resources to meet the most immediate needs of our community. Those needs were providing childcare for healthcare workers, first responders, and other essential workers, creating virtual programming opportunities, addressing the food scarcity issues, providing childcare for all, and developing distance learning centers. Coverage for essential workers, we knew that if our local heroes were going to work every day to save lives and to address the pandemic, that they were going to need a place to send their kids. But with schools closed and no traditional all-day care centers opening and operating, they were stuck. We closed for 1 week to devise a plan to safely open and provide quality programming to these kids whose world had just been turned upside down. We reopened on March 23rd and have been operating ever since. With CDC capacity limits in place, we were initially unable to open to our traditional Boys and Girls Club population. So we quickly went to an action, creating over 400 virtual programming videos for our club kids at home, and we started calling families and sending e-blasts. How are you? Do you need resources? Did you know about these videos that we have on YouTube, Facebook, and the website? The outlet mentorship the club provides kids is invaluable, and we needed these kids to know that we still cared about them and that we were just a Zoom call away. Knowing the majority of our members rely on school meal program, we were concerned that they would not receive an adequate amount of food on a daily basis. Therefore, we immediately began a grab-and-go meal program and a family food pantry program. Grab and Go provided a drive-through meal service at 5 of our locations where families requested breakfast and lunch meals for any child ages 0 to 18. In addition to this federally funded food program, we instituted a food pantry program to provide food and other essential items to the entire family as a response to the growing scarcity of resources affecting many of the families that we serve. In all, we should be providing nearly 600,000 meals to kids and family by year's end. As the economy began to reopen and many of the families we traditionally serve from the working class sector were asked to go back to work, the number of families we serve grew significantly, and we quickly reached our new maximum capacity set by the CDC and local health department. In August, when schools reopened and restrictions were reduced, we added additional children to the sites already opened, and the kids to the school sites closed since the spring. This marked the first time since March that we were able to operate all 27 of the sites we operated pre-COVID-19. To meet the increased demand for community, we have since opened an additional 8 facilities, bringing our new total to 31 sites and 4 early learning centers. Currently, the critical need created by the lingering pandemic has become the demand for all-day supervision and distance learning support. Due to the challenges the school district has faced with the pandemic and the air quality issues, families have been unable to develop routines and create reliable support plans for their work schedules and their children's school schedules. The majority of the families we serve work in industries that do not allow them flexible work schedules nor the ability to work from home. Thus, more and more families are turning to the club for their distance learning needs. Providing our members with access to computers has become a crucial priority for our organization since many of our families only have one device available, which has become an issue in households with multiple children. Many of these families are also unable to substitute the in-person teacher role as they themselves may not know the language nor how to utilize the technology needed to attend virtual classes. By establishing the distance learning centers, we have improved the levels of engagement during distance learning by providing attentive staff, who are providing the in-person teaching assistance role and ensuring children attend their required classes. Besides assisting our members with their classes, we continue to provide quality programs to our members, which allows them to safely socialize with their peers and continue developing their social skills. So that's where we are at the club to date. We've got an amazing lineup for you tonight. Thank you for being here, and thank you for having that whatever it takes attitude when it comes to our youth and our community. Now I'd like to introduce our annual awards video, hear firsthand from our club members and club families and staff how the club pivoted to meet needs these past several months.
The Boys and Girls Club is doing whatever it takes to ensure that kids have a safe place to always come and be, and that families can be reassured that they have, strong-willed adults that are navigating and helping them through this, new world order essentially, and that they're in the best of hands. What we were doing was looking at keeping the kids in a safe bubble when they came into the club, and then what enrichment we were going to provide to them. In the end, we came up with a really safe place for kids to continue to come.
The Boys and Girls Club is finding so many creative ways to help the community. The Club on the Go had several different activities. They actually brought the activities to the community so those who are uncomfortable going into large crowds or different facilities could have fun outside in the open air. It was just kind of a blessing.
We had to evolve once school started back up. Our families actually were extremely happy that we had these new protocols in place as far as the kids washing their hands, checking their temperatures. They knew that their children were entering a safe environment.
I've been coming to the club to do distant learning, and it's been great. I get here at 7 o'clock. They take my temperature, they sanitize all my stuff, and I usually come to the teen center and I do my work.
The staff are really helping when we need help, so I really like it here, and it's just like school.
My favorite thing is coming to the Boys and Girls Club because it's fun here and they actually help you.
They want to interact with other kids. They want to interact with adults. They thrive on those relationships and that sense of belonging, and I feel like they were excited to be at club, and they were excited to be out of the four walls of their own home. There's a different energy to them being around just other children, and that's a positive.
Immediately after COVID hit, we noticed that families were having food insecurity issues and not being able to get food from grocery stores. We had lots of families who were waiting for food stamps and other benefits as well, and so we immediately had to open our food pantry.
Pre-COVID, I was a preschool teacher, and now I am a stay-at-home mom with my kids. When COVID hit, it pretty much took our family's financial means down to nothing. It took us down to where we need to rely on community resources.
We had always offered a small informal food pantry at Boys and Girls Club for families case by case. We decided to start one on a large scale after COVID, serving anywhere from 80 to 120 families per week.
I didn't know really where the next meal would necessarily always come from. So being that I could rely on the boxes once a week, I knew that I at least had that to get me through the next couple of days or whatever it may have been. The Boys and Girls Club has always been there for us through thick and thin.
My name's Mark Ennis. I work at the St. Mary's Regional Medical Center as a plant engineer. Basically, we keep the building running so the doctors and nurses can do their jobs. And I'm a single dad, and I got a little boy named Francis, and he's 6 years old. If I didn't have the Boys and Girls Club, I have no idea what I was going to do because I don't have anybody else. I was new to the area. But I didn't have any other options. If it wasn't for Boys and Girls Club, I probably would have quit my job to stay home and take care of my kid.
We were opening our building at 6 o'clock in the morning and keeping it open until 8 o'clock at night, and that was something that we had never done. I think it was a game changer for families, especially the ones that were essential need employees. They needed a place for their kids to go.
Having the Boys and Girls Club open during all of this was extremely crucial because our lives could have been a lot worse off. That goes for all essential workers. Just having you guys open during this time probably saved a lot of jobs and people's lives, you know, had a huge impact.
Whenever needs like this arise in our community, Boys and Girls Club has to be really proactive and creative in how we're going to serve these needs. So whether that's starting a food pantry, having grab-and-go meals, having distance learning or virtual programming available, we really just have to stay one step ahead to make sure that our families and children are being served to the best of our capabilities.
I've always loved that winner mentality of just getting things done with the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows, and I think that we are operating and firing on all cylinders right now, and I think families are very grateful.
Will you do whatever it takes?
Will you do whatever it takes?
Will you do whatever it takes?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Will you do?
Will you do?
Will you do?
Will you do whatever it takes?
Great video. Can we give a big hand to the great video? Highlighting the kids, showing what they're doing, making a difference. And if you don't remember anything else, bgctm.org. Don't forget to give to the club. This is not possible without your great efforts. It's not possible without you giving. And if we want to continue what I consider the best organization in the entire country, then we have to give. So take the time to give to our organization. So I think it's time to shine some light on the amazing Kids Club and all that you do. So the club has great kids here who do a phenomenal job all the time. And it's my pleasure and my distinct honor to announce the 2020 Members of the Year. These 9 members from the youth, middle, and teen programs have exemplified, which means demonstrated excellence in exactly what it means to be an amazing, outstanding club kid. They have excelled in the club's core areas, and one member in each age group has been selected to be the Member of the Year for academic success, healthy lifestyles, and good character and good citizenship, who's done a phenomenal job. So at this time, let's give a big hand as we introduce these great youth.
Academic success. Joshua, age 7, Lemon Valley Clubhouse Academic Success. Joshua has been a club member since 2018 and is one of our most attending members throughout his last 2 years. From the start of his attendance at the club, he was really into homework and learning, and we could all tell that he was a smart cookie. You can always catch him reading a book or working on a worksheet or asking for math facts from the staff. He actively does his homework during Power Hour and encourages other members his age to complete their work and help others. Caden, age 13, Larry D. Johnson Teen Center. Caden is one of those members that you know and hope is going to invent something to help the world to become a better place. When it comes to school, he has always been ambitious and active. He is excited to go to college because he really wants to get a doctorate degree in engineering, psychology, and maybe law. Caden is a fun-loving and active member who brings joyful play to the club. He invites friends to the club to show them our 3D printer, VR headset, and the various other activities we offer. Emma, age 7, Donner Springs Elementary Club site. Emma is a very sweet and generous little lady. She is always smiling and willing to participate in anything we put in front of her. She is very friendly with her peers and has so much potential to succeed. Emma demonstrates passion in everything she does, including school, sports, and being part of the Boys and Girls Club. Character and Leadership Members of the Year. Kaylani, age 13, Our Lady of the Snows school site. Kaylani is always working to make sure she contributes positively to the environment she is in. Whether it's programming, power hour, or adjusting to COVID, Kaylani is proactive and always willing to help without being asked. She is the embodiment of the Be Great values. Kaylani shows generosity with her time and is willing to work on a team to help others whenever they may need it. Kaylani is encouraging, especially during programming, when she gets the younger members pumped up about all our programs, including positive action. Kaylani takes pride in all of the work that she does. She is a deep thinker and makes sure that she considers all possibilities before making a big decision. Kaylani is the best kind of leader, chooses to set an example by acting herself the way she would want others to act. Anthony, age 14, White Pine Middle School site. Anthony comes to the club every day with a positive attitude. He is always asking to help, whether we are doing art, going to the gym, or just cleaning up from lunch. Anthony participates in our 21st Century program and was active with virtual programming earlier this year. Anthony is a shining example of hard work and dedication. He perseveres through conflict and finds solace at the club. Serenity, age 16, Pennington Teen Center. Serenity is always pleasant coming into the club with a big smile and heart. Serenity has been a member for 9 years. She has been involved in plenty of club activities such as Keystone Club, Money Matters, Junior Staff, and Leo's Club. She is currently part of her high school softball and cheer teams. She will be the first in her family to graduate high school and plans to attend college. She is a great leader and possesses the self-motivation to successfully execute anything she puts her mind to. Serenity has a special spark and will go far in making this world a better place. Healthy Lifestyles Members of the Year. Ella, age 10, Pennington Clubhouse. In January, Ella was Pennington's Member of the Month in Healthy Lifestyles because she did such a fantastic job in our Positive Action and Triple Play programs. In addition to always fully participating, she always brings a positive attitude to whatever she does. Ella received our Most Enthusiastic Jumper award in our February Jumpathon. On top of all of this, Ella is one of the only members who consistently joined our virtual programs, where she continued to do a great job in the HLS programs. Ella excels in all programs at the club, and we are so happy to honor her. Nigel, age 10, Lemon Valley Clubhouse. Nigel has participated in all of our 5 core programs: art, healthy life skills, STEM, character and leadership, sports, fitness, and recreation. At Torch Club, he has been a Healthy Lifestyles Member of the Year for the month, and he assists at many of our events, including family nights, Torch Club Halloween Bake Sale, and Club Kid-led park cleanup. Nigel loves sports and always strives to be a leader on and off the court. He encourages members to do their best and always helps staff when he can. Jaden, age 9, Hidden Valley Elementary School site. Jaden truly works to maintain a healthy mind, body, and soul. Jaden is one of our site's best leaders during Power Hour. He is one of the first to get his homework out before staff even has to ask. He tries to help those around him to the best of his ability, and if he can't help them, he actually encourages them to get help from staff. He does an excellent job during our sports, fitness, and rec programming and recess time. He loves getting involved and will frequently volunteer to lead a team of younger members during the activities. He is highly encouraging to other members and recognizes that these activities are all about having fun, not about winning or being the best.
One of the many reasons the club is different from any other before and after school or summer program is that they deeply care about the development of youth. That is a big core principle of this organization. And speaking about youth and development, it's time to hear from one of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Truckee Meadows' greatest success stories. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce Tatiana Anderson Hall. She is the Teen Services Director and a former Youth of the Year, which is the biggest award that you can win for this organization. So bring it to the stage at this time, Tatiana. Give her a big hand.
Good evening. As the Teen Services Director, I have the privilege of overseeing our teen programs as well as managing our scholarship program. At the club, it is our priority to ensure our teen members graduate high school and have a plan. That plan may be going to college, attending a trade or vocational school, joining the military, or going straight into the workforce. We help the teens tackle everything by providing FAFSA workshops, SAT, ACT test preparation, financial literacy, practice interviews, and information regarding scholarships available. This 2020 school year has been a unique year for our seniors. Because of the pandemic, they didn't get to walk across the big stage or switch their tassels over with their classmates. However, we kept a pulse on our graduating seniors and served as a support system for them all summer long. Despite the craziness in 2020, the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows has been able to award former members with over 50 new and renewing scholarships. Here to honor our scholarship donors is our former board president, longtime board member, and our current scholarship committee chair, Vicki Luce.
Good evening, and on behalf of the Boys and Girls Club Scholarship Committee, we want to say thank you to each and every one of our generous scholarship donors. Great futures start here because of you. Our 2020 scholarship donors are as follows: Hot August Nights Foundation, Bill and Doris Pierce, Jack T. Revilio, Jack and Betty Stanko, John Raffaelli and his wife Sandy, Mr. Tommy Behan, Dean and Gloria Smith Foundation, Dr. James and Carolyn Lynch of the Lynch Spine, Nevada, James and Jane Nichols, Clyde and Gail Patovia, Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows. Thank you to the rest of the Scholarship Committee for your hard work. Tatiana Anderson Hall, Rose Hendrickson, Allison Elder, and Sharon Worm. And congratulations to all our new and renewing scholarship recipients. We are so proud of all of you. Thank you very much, and thanks for always being there and caring about the clubs. God bless you and love you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki, for an outstanding presentation. I mean, can you give Vicki a hand? I just want to take just a few minutes at this time because this is a big piece of why we're here tonight also, is to talk about scholarships. And when you talk about scholarships in terms of what it does for our young people, the ability to go to school, it teaches you to critically think. It teaches you analytical thinking skills. It teaches you social skills, how to interact and get along with others who may be different from you, from different parts of the world. And then it gives you a chance to really network and learn. Some of the best friends you will get in life come from college, or a university, or a community college. Education opens doors for you. It gives our kids confidence to be able to express themselves, to hear their voice, to be able to articulate and connect their thinking about what they have learned. It lets them know it's possible. No matter where you come from or what your background is, it's possible to go further in life. And it lets you know that I can take on the world. And when you look at the success stories, time and time again, of those who have matriculated through the Boys and Girls Club and went on to further education and come back and did great things in their communities, in their organizations, in their neighborhoods, with their families. This club, it gives the chance for our young people to go to college. So this first scholarship of the night is the Jack T. Revilio Scholarship. The Jack Revilio Scholarship includes the scholarship value up to $5,000 per year. That's not a small amount of money. $2,500 per semester, up to 8 semesters, which is really 4 years. This is a last gap scholarship. It's designed to cover your cost of attendance after all the federal, state, and institutional grants have been awarded. You get a part-time job at the Boys and Girls Club. This is required if you're selected. I also look at it as a chance not only to earn money, but to give back to this great organization. You also, and this is what I call a safety net, you get a personal college mentor to help you navigate your college journey. And then, which is one of the most important things, you have to participate in community service. We want the winners to give back to our community. So, without further ado, I get a chance to announce the 2020 Jack T. Revilio winner of the scholarship, Chloe Hull. Give her a big hand. Big, big hand.
Thank you. 39% of marriages in the United States end in divorce. They happen. but that doesn't mean they're easy, especially on the children. Holidays spent with just mom or just dad, splitting the wardrobe between two closets, never having the exact article of clothing you want at the exact time you need it, and never having enough time with either parent. Last year, my school dance fell during a week that I was staying at my dad's. Now, I love my dad, but I don't think he would have had as much fun getting ready with me as my mom would have. And what makes it harder still is my stepmom is pretty involved in my life, and there are certain things that she has already done with her adult daughter that my mom has not yet had the chance to do with me. My stepmom still wants to participate in those things with me too. And telling the both of them I wanted to get ready at my mom's house was too hard to ask. I feel like I hurt my mom by not asking to spend that time with her. I never want to hurt their feelings or disappoint them, and they both do so much for me. And so one of the hardest parts about their divorce is having to choose between them. I have had 2 homes for the past 10 years, but for the past 6 years I've had 3, my mom's, my dad's, and the Boys and Girls Club. 6 years ago, my mother got a job at the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows as a volunteer coordinator. And so, the weeks I would spend with her would often mean I'd spend my afternoon at the club, and it quickly became a safe space for me. No stress, just support. I began just doing my homework and hanging out, but it wasn't long before I started participating in activities, singing in plays, and I even got a paid junior staff position. After being blessed with singing lessons from the club, my confidence grew, and in 2018, I sang the national anthem at the awards banquet in front of 800 people. The club has also helped me develop confidence in my artistic abilities. I love to draw, and club staff encouraged me to enter my work in the BGCA National Art Competition. Seeing my art hanging on display in an actual art show filled my heart with joy. Despite finding so much success and building my confidence, it still blows my mind that I have been chosen to receive the Jack T. Revilio Scholarship. There are thousands of kids who attend the club, and I've always felt, well, average. But the club once again is helping me understand that I am so much more than average. They see and bring out the best in me, and because of that, I want to make them proud. I want to say thank you to the Revilio family for this scholarship. I plan to honor Jack's legacy by volunteering in the kitchen and our food pantries every chance I get this year. I want to feed the community because no one can be their best selves when they're hungry. I am truly honored to represent the club and the Revilio family as I begin my expedition to college. Next fall, I plan on studying at TMCC. Once I get my core classes out of the way, I'd like to study graphic design at Full Sail University, based in Winter Park, Florida. Lastly, I want to thank my mom for making me go to the club and pushing me to get involved, and especially for encouraging me to apply for the scholarship.
That was great. And I believe I can say this, Jack would approve. Jack would approve. That's exactly what the scholarship was put together for. That's exactly the kind of person that's going to keep that legacy alive. And when we talk about giving, the bgctm.org, that's what it's all about, to make sure we give so we can continue the legacy going. So thank you again. Awesome job, Chloe. So I told you that there would be a special performance tonight. I'd like to introduce Caitlin to the stage at this time. She will be performing a song titled Titanium. Let's give her a big, big, big round of applause.
You shouted out, but I can't hear a word you say. You're talking loud, not saying much. I'm criticized, but all your bullets ricochet. You shoot me down, but I get up. I'm bulletproof.
Every year, the Board of Directors votes to pick the Distinguished Service Award winner, someone who's gone above and beyond for the Boys and Girls Club, and oftentimes for other nonprofits in the community. This year, instead of picking an individual or a family to pay homage to, we've decided to select as the winner of this year's 2020 Distinguished Service Award winner, the Northern Nevada community. This has obviously been a challenging year for everybody in one way or another. We have been shown immense support from individuals, businesses, foundations, from new supporters, and from longtime supporters. Everything from PPE supplies, monetary gifts, food, other basic essentials. Everything you've seen tonight on the annual video was made possible because this community believes in the mission and values and the work provided by the Boys and Girls Club in Truckee Meadows. So I'd like to say thank you from the staff, the board, the kids and their families, and I'd also like to say thank you for tuning in for the first ever virtual awards banquet. And now, let's hear a few words from the 2019 Distinguished Service Award winner, Mr. Rick Revilio.
Good evening, everybody. Isn't tonight a blessing? We didn't have to get dressed up and drive across town to another fundraising event. We could actually sit home in our pajamas eating popcorn. I truly don't believe there's a better example of any organization that brings together the community for one cause, to help the underprivileged youth, than the Truckee Meadows Boys and Girls Club. The youth matter. Our community matters. Small little Boys and Girls Club in Northern Nevada is making an impact and being recognized by the major metros across the country. And it's not happening through one event or one group of kids. It's happening because we are showing the country that the best way to invest in your future is to invest in our most precious commodity, and that's our youth. I believe you've got to give back, whatever it takes. Good economies, bad economies. One of my greatest mentors, my father, always said, when we meet our Creator, He's not going to ask us what kind of house we lived in, what kind of car we drove, or how many toys we had. He's going to ask us, what did you do to make a difference in your fellow mankind? If you can donate tonight, please do, and help the club continue to do whatever it takes.
Good evening. My name is Julie Rowe, and I'm the Vice President of the club's Executive Board. On behalf of all of my fellow board members, I'd like to thank each and every one of you tuning in from home tonight. Now, more than ever, as the club is finding new ways to serve the youngest members of our community, and in many cases their families too, we are so appreciative and thank you from the bottom of our hearts for believing in our youth and for supporting this worthy nonprofit. We are almost ready for the main event, our Youth of the Year speeches, and believe me, you will be in awe of these amazing individuals. But first, let me explain just what this honor is all about. The Youth of the Year program is a national Boys and Girls Club initiative that recognizes outstanding club members throughout the country. The title also comes with the scholarship funds and the opportunity to earn state, regional, and even national honors. The process begins with teen candidates assembling packets that include responses to essay questions, letters of recommendation, high school transcripts, and a speech. In September, teens present their packet and speech to a panel of club staff members, which judges candidates based upon their club participation, academic achievement, community service, and the overall impact the Boys and Girls Club has made in their lives. The panel then has the difficult task of naming one male and one female Youth of the Year to share their stories and be recognized at tonight's Annual Awards Banquet. Later this year, we will select one to go on to compete to be the Nevada State Youth of the Year. Here to announce our male and female Youth of the Year is Alan Tom of the Hot August Nights Foundation. Again, not only are they the presenting sponsor of the night, but the Hot August Nights Scholarship helps make college a reality for our Youth of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Tom.
Thank you, Julie. Good evening. I'm honored to be here to pay tribute to such amazing, talented, and services tonight. This is our 8th annual award scholarship and being the presenting sponsor of this annual award banquet. We're truly honored to have such a great working relationship with the Boys and Girls Club of Truckee Meadows and be part of this wonderful event. The Hot August Nights Foundation was established in 2007 as a charitable arm of a main event. Our goal is to reach as many youth as we can at our guest community and provide resources and opportunities for them to succeed in the future. With over $1 million distributed to more than 80 local organizations, I believe we are well on our way. So with that, let's get right to it. It's time for me to introduce our Male Youth of the Year. But first, let me tell you a little bit about him. Albie Lopez Sanchez has been a club member for over 3 years and was recently voted Keystone President at the club at Hug High School. Albie has a magnetic personality. He's used this to recruit his members to the club and to events. He is always the first to volunteer for events and projects. When he is not doing community service with the club, he is working as a junior staff at Lemon Valley facility. He is living his dream of playing high school football. Albie has succeeded on the field and as well as a classroom in his constant commitment to the club and what makes him our Male Youth of the Year. Now, as a senior at Hug High School, Albie plans to join the military and take over his dad's family drywall business. Please welcome the 2020 Male Youth of the Year, Albie Lopez.
Yeah, thank you. Up before the sun. Pack your lunch. Kiss your wife. Work 12 hours. Come home. Reheat dinner. Kiss your kids' foreheads as they lie asleep. Crash into bed 7 days a week. Miss birthdays, miss soccer games, first day to school, and some holidays. This was my immigrant father's American dream. Work hard and provide a better life for his family. As a result, I spent my whole childhood wishing my father loved me enough to be around. I'm blind to the fact that because he loved me so much, he couldn't. Being an immigrant in America can sometimes mean choosing a career that requires extreme hours and flies under the radar, working twice hard to provide and missing out on important family milestones. My parents immigrated from Mexico when they were about 17. My father, he's the most hardworking man I know. And I'm not being biased when I say that. He's proud, loyal, smart, runs his own business, and out there works from sun up to sundown. And my mom, well, she's loving, sweet, charismatic, and honorable. She always tends to my younger brothers and I while my dad works. Between his long work week and my mom constantly changing diapers, tasting toddlers, cooking and cleaning, there seemed not to be enough time for me. In elementary school, I wanted him there to cheer me on at all my soccer games. But in middle school, I needed him there to coach me through my transition to becoming a man. For me, being a man meant smelling good, looking good, and having the flyest gear. Unfortunately, my dad wasn't around to tell me it actually meant working long hours and putting food on the table and providing for our family. Regardless of how many hours my dad worked, it wasn't sufficient. You see, I was just trying to look good for Shawty in my math class, but I couldn't. And I couldn't bring myself to ask my dad for money, since it was all going towards a better future for our family. So I decided to find a way to get some money on my own. I knew some kids in the neighborhood who had access to quick and easy money, so I joined the crowd. So I'm gonna need you to picture this. A group of middle school kids dressed in all black, from head to toe with masks on. And no, it wasn't because of COVID. Then crack. The butt of a gun slammed through the window, shattering the glass into a sea of shards at my feet. My hand shot through the jagged hole and unlocked the car. We snatched the bag on the floor and the wallet from the glove compartment. I wasn't afraid to get caught, and I never once thought about the person who sat in the driver's seat. At 12, all I could think about was getting my first pair of all-white Nike Air Force Ones. And I wasn't worried about my dad seeing the shoes because by the time he got home, my kicks would be tucked away safely in the closet. And I know You'd probably expecting my story to escalate and reach its climax with me getting arrested, hitting rock bottom, and realizing that something had to change. Fortunately, my story doesn't pivot because of one catastrophic event. And for that, I am thankful. My life changed because of a relationship. I was 14 walking the halls of Hug High School, and by some grace of God, I let my childhood dream of playing high school football happen. I started working during the weekends with my dad, making legit money, but my grades were terrible and I kept getting into fights. One of the requirements of Hug athletes is study hall. Our study hall was located on campus at the club at Hug. You see, I had one foot in football in the club while the other foot was in the mud. But that all changed the day I met my category 11, homework checking, our bottle of mentor, Charles Walker, also known as Seawalk. Seawalk asked me to come to the club, even when it wasn't for study hall. He made me feel welcome and generally wanted me around. He had the time, and he showed that he cared. I started attending the club more consistently. I joined the Keystone Club and started helping with club community projects. We served breakfast for Mother's Day and Veterans Day, and we held a fundraiser where I dressed up as an Easter bunny. I was laying eggs and all that. And now, I'm the president of Keystone Club. And over the past 3 years, I have logged over 300 hours of community service. I'm a member of Poly Club, treasurer of our local Leos Club. Leo stands for leadership, education, and opportunity. I even got a second job as junior staff at the Lemon Valley Clubhouse. I am invested in my schoolwork and extremely active in our community. I look back at all those cars I robbed, and I now see the people behind them. I wish I could go back and tell them that I'm sorry and that I'm no longer that confused kid, but I know I can't. The club is my second home. When I leave the club at the end of the day, I go to my first home and not the streets. I have grown so much, and my relationship with my parents has too. My pops worked so hard to give my family and I a better life. It's all he's ever wanted. It's now my dream to work hard for him. After graduation, I plan on joining the U.S. military. There are so many benefits to joining, but a major reason for joining will be to help my parents' legal statuses in America. So I stand here before you today, changed and continuing to grow. The Boys and Girls Club Truckee Meadows threw me the rope to pull myself at the deep dark hole I was living in. And for that, I am so grateful. And not only do I want a great future for myself, but I want to inspire my younger brothers that anything is possible. I want to be their Superman. I am a true advocate for the Boys and Girls Club. On any given day, you can see me marching my peers towards club doors. And by peers, you already know I mean the ladies. My dad always says, con el tiempo todo se consigue, which translates to, give it time and patience and you can have it all. I've always loved him saying that, but if I could tweak it just a little bit, I'd say, si trabajo duro, con el tiempo y con apoyo y paciencia, todo se puede conseguir. Give it time, have patience, and work hard. With support, you can have it all. Thank you.
Wow, what an amazing and inspirational story. Thank you, Albie, for sharing that with us. Now, we have an equally as amazing young lady to honor, our Female Youth of the Year. Lindsay Vasquez is a senior at Hug High School. She has been a member at the club at Hug High School for the last 3 years and serves as a Keystone Vice President. Lindsay is dedicated junior staff at the DWR facility and aspires to be a criminal investigator. When she's not at the club or studying for her honors and AP classes as a distinguished member of her school's Health Science Academy, she plays softball and manages her school's football and basketball team. Lindsay aims to be an advocate for the youth, and her peers will be attending the TMCC in the fall of 2021. Please welcome the 2020 Female Youth of the Year, Lindsay Vasquez.
MN plus LV equals BFF. We giggled as we used our fingers to carve our initials in the freshly laid cement down the street from my house. We were 14, and Mariella and I had just solidified our friendship forever. Could anything be more bonding? Well, maybe matching tattoos, but we were a few years shy of that. The next day, my dad was taking Mariella and I to school, as he did every morning, but because of the construction, he had to park his car a few houses down from ours, right next to our newly established friendship monument. I pointed at the clouds and our neighbor's lovely manicured lawn as we got closer to his car, anything to avert his eyes from the sidewalk. But then, he saw it. Girls, what? We had nothing to do with that. My dad laughed and said, "Oh, so you think there happens to be another set of best friends with the initials MN and LV on the street?" He was always slow to anger. We joked the whole ride to school, and when we arrived, I gave him a kiss on the cheek and said, "Thanks, Dad. Love you." I will never forget that day, the day that changed my life forever. It was September 12th, 2016. The day my father died. Sorry. That day is forever etched in my mind. I got home from school and no one was there. My phone rang. It was my aunt from Florida. That's weird. She never calls me. "Hello? I'm so sorry, mija." My aunt's voice was slow and shaky. I rushed off the phone to call my mom and then my dad, but neither answered. Why aren't they picking up? I knew something had to be wrong. Fear and dark thoughts began to fill my mind, but in a million years, I never would have guessed this. After my dad dropped us off, he went to his construction job with my uncle. He was laying a new roof when he suffered a heart attack. My uncle did everything he could. An ambulance came, but he was pronounced dead before he arrived at the hospital. At 58 years old, he left behind his wife and 2 daughters. My father was always kind, patient, and hardworking. He was my actual best friend. We did everything together. Grocery shopping, working on cars, rock hunting. We even watched football together. Every weekend, he let me help him pick his teams. Life was good, and I was blessed. Did you know 71% of high school dropouts are fatherless? I was about to contribute to that statistic. Growing up without my father was a challenge I wasn't prepared to face. I didn't care about anything. I was numb. I had no motivation for school, and there were days where I didn't even go. My grades were terrible, and I lost sight of who I was without my father. I was a sophomore Hug High, skipping and failing school, when a friend somehow convinced me to go to the club at Hug on campus. That defining moment was the day that again redirected my life, this time for the better. Here, I met Charles Walker, our Seawalk to his kids. With his calm demeanor, playful wit, and no-nonsense expectations, Seawalk quickly became the male presence I had desperately needed. I started attending the club every day. Seawalk never let me slack on my homework, and my grades started to improve. Now, I'm a senior enrolled in all honors and AP courses, and a proud member of the Health Science Academy. I participated in extracurricular activities that I never would have considered had I not stepped through those club doors. I've managed sports teams, played softball, and held officer positions in school clubs. Seawalk has opened so many doors of opportunities for me, and he still continues to do so. I found my passion for volunteering as a Keystone Club member, where we hosted community events like Breakfast with the Easter Bunny, Breakfast for Veterans, and dedicated countless hours to our club's COVID food pantry, boxing and organizing non-perishables for families in need. Seawalk even helped me secure a paid junior staff position at the DWR facility. Here, I had a moment that brought my life full circle. 8-year-old Romeo was having a bad day. He wasn't listening. He was acting out, and all the other staff could not just get through to him. So, they decided to give him a break outside, and I followed him. I tucked in real close next to him on the wall, And after a few minutes of trying, he finally revealed to me what was causing his angst that day. "I miss my dad," he said. "I haven't seen him in a month." I told him I missed mine too. I shared my experience of losing my father, hoping that it would make him feel better and improve his behavior too. In that moment, Romeo knew he wasn't alone. He knew I'd be there for him the way that Charles has always been there for me. My father is missing so many major milestones in my life. He wants me to complete high school during a pandemic, or watch me toss off my hat at my college graduation. He won't walk me down the aisle or hold his future, much future grandbaby. This necklace I have around my neck is a symbol of my father. Inside lay his ashes. I wear it every day in his memory, and I feel it brings us closer even though we're so far apart. I know he's watching over me, and I know that right now I'm making him proud. I could have let a tragedy dictate my future. Instead, I will be graduating with my class in 2021. I plan to start my college journey at CMCC and knock on my core classes before moving on to University of Nevada, Reno. My dream is to go on to study forensic science and become a criminal investigator, law and order, SVU style. I am grateful for the Boys and Girls Club for being what I didn't know I needed and providing me with help, mentors, support, and guidance. Thank you.
Wow, what an amazing night. I just want to stop for a second and thank Lindsay and Albie. Can we just give them another round of applause? Those were two amazing stories. And I always say this, if your memories are bigger than your dreams, your life is in trouble. So dream big, because it's out there. And so with this amazing night and with these amazing youth we have here at the Boys and Girls Club of the Truckee Meadows, who have done an outstanding job tonight, this has been phenomenal. And we just want to thank you for supporting great futures. Thank you for all that you have done. And if something tonight touched you or moved your heart just a little bit, I just ask for those of you who are watching at home, those of you who will get a chance to look at this again, those of you who drive past the club, those of you who see the kids in all those sites around the country, just please visit bgctm.org to make a contribution to the club. Again, if you love what you heard tonight from all the youth that spoke and performed, just remember that site, bgctm, Boys and Girls Club of the TruckeeMeadows.org. Again, for those who are watching, that's what will keep us going. Help us to continue to celebrate, motivate, and mold youth in the Truckee Meadows. Thank you for what you do. I look forward to 2021. And again, congratulations for those who are recognized and awarded tonight. But the key gift is giving back to those who show up every day as their future is being prepared by being in a safe haven of a club that's making a difference in our society and our community. Thanks, everyone. Thanks again. Please watch Give.